What's up, guys? This is 2002 E46 M3. We're about to do the Guibo.
Part two, we're working on replacing the Guibo. First step is obviously we have the car jacked up, and I'm really sorry for this camera angle, but here's the back of the car. We got the whole exhaust that I'm going to try to take off in one piece here. So this is the transmission area. We just took the cover off, and now I'm working on taking the section 2 exhaust off here, right in this section. Once these are off, we should be able to dislodge it and get this part freed up. And then we got to free up some stuff in the back so that we can drop the whole thing. And then we can get access to this heat shield. And we'll start taking that apart so we can actually start seeing some progress. Okay, so we just pulled the exhaust out, and now we're at the stage where we're removing the heat shield. All right, just got this last one. These are the little screws they hold in. There's probably about 10 or 12 of them holding around the perimeter, and once you get that free, you'll be able to drop this and expose the drive shaft, center support bearing, and Guibo. Okay, we got the heat shield out of the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove this trans mount and then this anti-vibration part as well, just so we have more room to work when removing the Guibo. Okay, so we got that trans support off, and now you can see the transmission bushings right here, and they're held on by a 13 millimeter up here. I'm going to go ahead and take those off so that I have room to get to the back side of the Guibo next. Just want to show what a cracked Guibo looks like here. You can see that big crack there. Here's a real bad one right there. You can see starts there, works its way all the way in. Huge one there. Oh boy. Okay, so we got the Guibo loosened up. Focus on the bolts that and nuts that connect to the actual transmission flange. That way you can separate it. I also went in and had somebody put it, my son put it in second or first so that you can get some leverage to loosen these. And I loosened all the bolts, even the ones from the drive shaft flange. And if you're only replacing the Guibo, you should loosen all of them and you'll be good to go. You see this shed on this side, the other side. All right, so now we're going to put our new Guibo in. Make note of these arrows, okay? There's arrows here. Each arrow needs to point to a flange, okay? So that can be installed either way, but you have to pay attention to the arrows, and they have to go to a flange. And then this kit I bought from FCP Euro. It also included new bolts. So we have new bolts and nuts ready to go into our transmission. So you got an arrow when you put it in here. If you got your arrow pointing to your Guibo or pointing to your drive shaft flange, the next arrow is pointing to a flange here. So for example, it'll be like this: flange to arrow, flange to arrow, arrow to flange. So we're good. Okay. Okay, so we have the arrows. Now we got this bolt in here. This arrow is pointing to the transmission flange. So you see we have a bolt going through the flange with the new nut here. And then here's a drive shaft flange you'll notice the arrow now, if you can see it, is pointing to that flange with a new nut too. So it should alternate. Arrow pointing to drive shaft, arrow pointing to transmission flange, and so on and so on. And then we'll go ahead and get these started, and then we're going to go ahead and torque them down. All right, everyone, so we got the new Guibo on. What I'm going to do now is I just finger tightened all these and just tighten them by hand. Now I'm going to go ahead and torque these to these bolts that it came with. It's 77 foot-pounds of torque. So, but definitely whatever Guibo you buy, this one's from FCP Euro. I believe it's a Myle brand, M-E-Y-L-E. The bolts it came with were 77 foot-pounds.